how are storing emotions. Okay, where do you store emotions in your body? Where do you store your fear? Where do you, like, when you trap these things and you're putting them in a box, where are they stored in your body? Because our emotions do end up being stored in our body. When we feel okay, it's true and like, if you just go sit somewhere and start feeling. So learning to deal with emotions and to express emotions, oh Lord, I wish that was something that I learned to do in my 20s. I wish I learned that earlier. But at this point, I'm already doing it and I've learned what I learned these things. And it's been very, very, very helpful. So sometimes, like, yeah, you might start the journey a bit later on in life, but point is, you start. That's what's important. The second thing I wish I did in my 20s is I wish I moved intentionally. Remember I said you start into adulthood, you're told, okay, go do things. And you're like, okay, I'm supposed to know what to do, you're supposed to do, you're picking out a course, which is now supposed to dictate what the rest of your life is supposed to look like. And there's a lot of pressure there because the idea that we have about it, and I'm not going to this is an idea that is no longer being perpetuated. The idea that we had at that time when you're 18 is like, whatever you choose now, this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. So I'm 18. I'm like, what do you mean that if I choose to go into journalism or if I go into mass education, the only thing I can ever do with my life is be a journalist and I can't do other things. So if I do it, I just put pressure in that situation. So I was like, okay, I'm moving away and international. How do I get into mass education? I don't think I want to do something. Actually, I didn't want to do mass education. I used to have this idea that I wanted to end up doing TV. Please don't use it. Things are not it. But for me, I don't have the possibility to use. That's all I knew when I was taking half of television and I was taking half of working in media. That's the only thing of media that I had access to or that I knew or understood. So it was like, okay, cool. That's the career path that I would possibly walk towards. And then I had this interest in DJing and dancing. And I remember when I was married, I had this like boyfriend at the time. I written that I wanted to be a career path. Okay. And then I'm like, you know what? Unfortunately, I moved to a school with pregnant. I can't be a videographer. That's it. So that's it. That's actually the thing that you do. Then I was like, okay, what's the next step alternative? And I was like, okay. DJing is fun. I want to try DJing. I wasn't allowed to like wanted to try them on my stage run. I wasn't allowed to like put this those are the areas of interest that I had. Those are the things that were keeping my curiosity. But so you can't just do that. And my mom, I remember that time, was like, you should get a concert. And the idea was you should do a course that's going to be employable. So you're not even using a course because you love it or you're interested in it. Like, which one will get me hired the fastest? How did I end up learning at mass communication? My cousin and I went around, looked at different schools, and I kept asking, what journalism courses do you have? So like, if I was going to do anything, I might as well end up doing the things that's going to put me in front of a TV. Hey guys, welcome to this live. When we went to like a couple of different colleges and schools, and when asking what journalism courses do you have, I remember at one point, this one person said, oh, there's this particular course, like, oh, you know, journalism, the idea, and I was like, there's multiple kinds. That was the first time I was like, oh, mind blown. And now it's mass communication review. It used to me, I was told, oh, you can do, when you do mass communication, you can do all these other things that fall under mass communication. I was like, oh, that's what I'll do. So I wasn't really moving intentionally. A lot of things were like you're just being shoved in one direction, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe not so bad. We can go in that direction. We're being shoved in this direction, or decisions that we made depending on some of the things that are external and no consideration to your feelings, emotions, or the things that you have interest in. In the same regard about moving intentionally, one of the other things that I allowed that I wish I didn't was allowing people's negative comments affect me, where I would dwell on when someone would say something that I didn't like. If someone went like, I remember at one point, funny enough, I've never taught myself to sing. I've never taught myself to think that I can sing at all. And it all started because someone made that comment. I used to be like, oh, I can sing whatever, I would sing my words or do whatever. It was exciting, it was an exciting thing to do. I never looked at myself and thought like, one day I could be a musician. No, that wasn't a mistake, but it was a fun thing for me to do. And I remember we had gone for a church event, the way people like just comes up with securities out of nowhere that they have no business calling just because of comments and not realizing that comments was such big, they're such big figures.
Welcome to this life.
Comments, you carry it with you and it follows you. Okay, so back to the start thing. It was a Saturday, so that's when we used to meet, not that I've remembered that much. And there used to be this person who used to stay in our church and just would like a beautiful thing. And I was like, oh my god, if something needs to be done, she's gonna sing. And I remember we were talking about like a certain song, and I was like, oh, I was like, oh, let me even get excited that one. And it was like this thing where they laughed and they're like, what are you singing? And I was like, oh. And then that's when I was like, oh, I guess I cannot sing, I shouldn't sing, I should never sing. And that's how like that ended. But I don't care anymore to say, I sing. And I still think I'm actually a very decent singer. I may not be the best, I'm not trying to be like a world or whatever, I'm not trying to be a musician. I'm just singing because it's fun. And I enjoy singing, and I think I'm a decent singer. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about everybody else. And if you ask my bathroom, it believes the same thing. So I wish I didn't allow people's negative comments to affect me as much as I did. As much as they did, sorry. The other problem with not moving intentionally was that then I had goals, but I didn't know how to get to them. I had dreams, desires, so all the things that I wanted to achieve, but I never set out a plan. Okay, so how do we achieve them? What do we need to do? How do we go about it? So just like we'll go. That's pretty cool. Like let's just go with the flow, and then whenever we plan. That was one of the things that I just aimlessly did, which is also the reason why I would end up on one page to the next one. When I see some people I have missed so many lines, it's because of that. And that's not a bad thing. I think your studies are also supposed to be about exploration. But the exploration can also have a purpose. The purpose can be, I want to know what are the things that I'm good at. I want to know what are the things that I love doing. And is there a way to also make money from these things? I want to know what are the things I don't like doing. What are the things I'm willing to try? Like the worst comes to worst, I'd be willing to do that. It's just an exploration time, but you have to do it with a purpose. What is there an end goal? Is there a purpose in mind? Even if sometimes the purpose is to know if you like something or not, it's important because there's an intention to it. When there's no intention, you just like being played by the wind, there's the idea of peer pressure. So whenever your friends are like, you know what, from now on, what to do, or you're like, you know what, let's do that. When all your friends are going into I don't know what, you're like, okay, then tell me that's what we're doing. So in terms of moving intentionally, I think if I had moved a bit more intentionally, I would not have given up on a lot of the things that I started doing. It's a lot of creative things that I started doing earlier on in my 20s because of inconveniences or because everyone else was shift focused or because they're like, I didn't want to do this anymore. Do I like this anymore? Do I have an interest in this anymore? Because of such things, I ended up giving up on certain things that I did enjoy doing due to just not being intentional, or I just let them fall by the wayside and completely forget about them, but then things I actually enjoyed doing in the first place. I am not my mistakes. Oh, let me tell you, I come here and I talk about how I'm very particular about my mistakes.
Please give this girl thumbs up.
That's exactly what they are. Mistakes are things.
We are marinating
And
some
one of the things
chicken.
that I realized I used to do, and I have literally just started not doing it very, very recently, is dwelling on my mistakes. I constantly would sit there and stew, be like, I should have done this instead, I should have done that instead, now look, this is going to be a setback, this is going to be that. And then I realized that everything that I do, as long as it's leading me down the path to the things that I desire, it's not a mistake. It's a learning moment that I can course correct. If I do something and I don't do it the right way, I'll be like, now we know how not to do it. Instead of sitting there in the guilt, the frustration, and the disappointment, I can then tend to look at it as a learning lesson and be like, now we know what not to do. And then next time, if I find myself in a situation, I'll be like, I know where this road leads, and it's not in the direction that I'm going. So I am going to get off the path a lot sooner than down the line by the time of realizing who for ages it's like, oh no, I've been here for 6 years when I should have first corrected it in year one, right? So when I started thinking of my mistakes in that way,
This is what
then it
the
becomes a thing
vinegar
of
has
like,
been
okay,
able
a
to
mistake was
remove.
made. It happened. What can we learn from this? Is there something to be learned from this? And then you just break it down and you look at this like, at what point did I go wrong? At what point did I lose myself? Because at the end of the day, it's like getting about the goal, the things you want to achieve, and the life that you want to be. Everything that you do will lead you down the path that you want in one way or the other. For some of these things, you end up taking so many detours before you actually get to where you're going. But with others, it's going to be a straighter path. So when you're learning from the mistakes, then you'll reduce the number of detours that you have to take because you clocked them a bit earlier, as opposed to sitting there and spewing and feeling guilty and trying to accept it in 15 million ways. You're like, the mistake already happened. What can I gain from that? What do I get out of that that can help me move closer to my desired life or the things that I want to do, or my goals or my dreams, whatever it may be that you're working towards, to becoming the version of you that I want to be, or because all these versions exist within you, everything exists within you. And I think that's one of the other things I wish I learned earlier. Not looking for outside validation or looking for things that are external to validate me and validate my feelings, my emotions. I wish I learned about relationships. This is what I mean. I wish I dated, because I didn't really do that. I didn't date myself. I didn't date other people.
This
I
is
just
after the second
existed and I
wash.
was like, oh, I like this person. Okay, cool. And then my focus was like, oh, we can be in a relationship. Oh, you know what? Okay, cool. Let's do that. And I never took time to one learn what I'm like by myself, learn how I show up in relationships, and these are friendships, romantic relationships, whatever kind of relationship you might think about. I never learned how I receive, and also I never learned that in giving, it needs to be reciprocated. I didn't know at what point you stop giving. Do you keep giving when there's nothing pouring back into you? How do you keep pouring when there's nothing being poured into you? I wish it's something that I learned in my 20s. I wish I spent more time learning the relationships I was in, the friendships that I had around me, because looking back at it and realize I had no business staying friends with so and so because I didn't like any of the ideas we had, I didn't like any thoughts, and sometimes it kind of felt like I used to have fights and arguments with people about the thoughts they had and the way they presented the thoughts and the things that they had like, I can't believe you did that. And then I'll sit there and laugh and be like, ha 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 ha, but we're friends. So now looking back, like the spaces I ended up having to diminish myself or diminish my emotions or my opinions or sit back or take a step back because I had chosen to be in those relationships and chosen to be in those friendships and chosen to entertain those ideas. So now I wish I had learned a bit more about that, learning a bit more about how do I show up, what are my limits, what are my boundaries, where do I draw the line? In terms of dating, if I had started dating myself when I was in my 20s, I think I would have learned a lot sooner how to enjoy my own company, how to be comfortable by myself and be comfortable with my journey and my company and myself and my thoughts and my emotions and all those things. Because I have spent time just sitting and sitting by myself with myself, not trying to fill in the gaps with watching movies, doing this, like just sitting with myself. I wish I had done that when I was in my 20s. I'm glad I'm finally doing it now, again, with everything here. I'm glad it's a thing that I'm finally learning, but I wish I had learned them a lot sooner before I had gotten to this point in time where you're like looking at this like, I've done this when I was 25. That mistakes don't dwell on the mistakes, we don't dwell on those things. Because at the end of the day, I didn't learn it when I was 25. I learned it when I was 30 or 31 or 32. Point is, I eventually learned it and I'm applying it in my life now. So if you can learn it sooner, if you're watching this and in your 20s and you're like, I'm so glad I have this information now. I'm glad that my not learning in my 20s is helping someone else because now someone else in their 20s can take advantage of these things that I wish I did then. And then by the time you're getting to your 30s, you're a lot more informed than I was when I was in my 30s. I think one of the reasons I've always wanted to have this platform or that I love having this platform is that I didn't have like anyone and giving me any sort of direction. Even now, I still don't really have someone giving me directions, giving me like I learn by mistakes. I learn by doing and be like, oh, okay, oops, sorry, my bad. So if I can pass that on to someone, if I can save someone having to learn through having to experience the bad thing, I'm very happy that at least my my lateness in stuff, if you can call it that, is going to be helpful to someone else. I wish that I learned more about finances in my 20s. Oh my lord. Again, you're shocked. You're thrown. These people are teaching us algebra instead of teaching us taxes, instead of teaching us investments. And you are put in this situation where, okay, you say you go to campus, and then in campus, whatever studies you're doing, no one adds all these other courses about the things that you're supposed to do as an adult. We need to have like an adult 101 type course that is either introduced in
Hey guys,
early on when you get
I
to
want to
college.
marinate
The
this
same thing, I
chicken
think it should be
wings.
introduced in primary school. I'm just saying, because I have never had to apply algebra anywhere. Algebra should be taught to people who read algebra later on in life. I wish we learned about taxes there. I wish we learned about budgeting. I wish we learned about investments. What are they? How do you do them? What the hell are liabilities? And what counts as a liability? And is there context to what makes something a liability versus an investment? These are things that we should have been taught because I think being taught these are things that would have to apply in life regardless of whatever path you choose to take. Whether you go into employment, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you try to do like online sales and marketing, whether you're selling services to people, whether you're a therapist, all these are things that we have to encounter and deal with in our adult life. Why was it never considered to be something we should be taught earlier on in school? Even now, I still struggle with taxes. I still struggle. Like, I am those ones where, like, mwenye accounting tafadhali comes in with this. If you know how to do the account, you will know how to do this thing because many we are not consistent. As much as we have people who go into that as a profession, right? Later on in life, I'm like, I don't mind having someone take care of the business side of business if I'm running a business. Have like the professional accountant doing accounting work. And then when it comes like my personal life, I want to at least be able to understand these things, even if it's on a basic level. That way, if I'm sitting down with someone and saying, yes, I would like to start investing, and I have been drawn to ABC. Could you tell me if that's a good idea or not? It's that these are things that as an adult you have to train yourself in, but they're things that apply in everyday life. Good. We need to do better because it's like you want me to be able to survive as an adult. You throw me places like the job market and stuff. And I was not taught these things at all, which I didn't see my parents do the same because not every person comes from a household where their parents will sit them down and say, oh, so this is how we do ABC, this is how you go about this is what budgeting looks like, this is what finances mean, this is how you break things down, and this is the importance of doing this thing. You will never know. If you come from a household where you see certain patterns repeated over and over again, you can notice or recognize them as patterns. None of us came from households where, like, even when it comes to things like saying money, very growing up for us. I remember when I was in high school, one of my teachers asked me, "When you don't have a dad?" And I was like, huh? Why? Because anytime I needed something, I would ask him to call my mom. But most of the other students used to have people call their father. So for me, if it's school fees, if it's anything money related, it was my mom. Because in our household, it was taboo to ask my father for money. Like you were never brought up where you can go to dad and ask for things. Even now, I don't know how to ask for dad for anything. And it's usually very awkward. And even like I think it explains some in some way the kind of relationship we have between him and I and money. And with my mom, it was like I used to make a hit book, and like I'll ask my mother, then my mother will ask my father, and then whatever
I've added
happens,
some
happens, then
salt,
I have to do.
some soy
So
sauce,
for me,
some corn
my
flour,
mother was a lot more dependable in those things than absolutely. But I didn't
mixed
know what was happening
spices.
behind the scenes because no one talked to me about it. No one taught me about earning money and keeping money and saving money, how they what are some of the ways to save. None of that.
Some
So you
garam
do all these
masala.
at
I'm
school,
not
you
a
do
fan
this
of
at school,
this
and then
spice
you
at
study
all
when you
at
go,
all.
you're an adult now, go figure
So I'm
things
just
out.
going to
Where
add a
exactly are you
small
supposed to have
amount.
this? So right now, it's in your twenties. Learn as much as you
Some
can.
black
Go
pepper.
for the internet. Learn as much as you can. Find online courses. Look for classes on money management. Look for classes on budgeting. Look for classes on what kind of investment. How do you invest? Learn these things. Learn about them when you can. If you are in a position to invest in classes where
Curry
you
powder,
go for
my favorite
good
spice.
courses, so those courses, let me tell you, I have never seen anyone who does a money course that is
Some
cheap.
paprika for
Those
color.
classes are not cheap. But if you feel like, okay, maybe these online classes are not working for me, the free ones are not giving you the information, you can find a way to invest. Is it an investment in learning about the thing? Pay for a class. Go learn how
Some
to pay.
turmeric.
Learn me, I for taxes. Okay, learn how the taxes are done. Need to eventually get to that point. But just for me, one thing is I've always known that tax is a bad thing. So whenever I get tax, immediately
Garlic
just like
powder and
my
ginger
just frustration.
powder.
It's like, oh.
I believe this is a match that was made from heaven
Right? So it's like sometimes it doesn't
and
feel like
God
I
gave
just pay
us for
someone to
free.
do it. And yes, that's also okay. That's also an idea, that's a good idea. But it's also important to learn what the basics of it are. How do you go about it? Listening to podcasts while like on the move as opposed to listening to music. I wish I did more of this in my twenties. So like
Then some nor
even that is like in the evening I
tube.
listen to music but sometimes I'm like I'm too tired, I'm not trying to hear your advice, okay? But in the morning when I'm like afraid, I'm very fresh, I'm kind of okay, have things to look forward to. When you
Then
think
some
about podcasts,
vegetable
basically, I
oil.
know it's like a new thing right now. People used to have Matatu radio, and then we used to wear our earphones because we don't want to listen to Matatu radio. It's like I never listen to my music because it plays the same song over and over and over again. Like, why am I listening to Imagine Me 6 times in 1 hour? If you know, you know. So listen to podcasts. If you're in your twenties now, listen to podcasts when you're on the move, when you're doing dishes, when you're doing. I have this moments for music, but then there's also moments for learning. Because when you think of a podcast, it is basically advice from someone who you might not even ever end up in the same room as, but this person has either access to the spaces that you want to be in. This person has been in spaces that you want to be in. That's been the person that you want to become, or you're working towards becoming. They're like a CEO, or it's a woman who has started a business from scratch, doing something that you're passionate about, and you're like, oh wow, I'm always been interested in learning how this thing can be done. Basically, getting free advice. That's when I think podcast, that's what I think. And I listen to different types of people. That's the beauty of it as well. Because when you think of a CEO, when I'm listening to like a female CEO versus a male CEO, I'm going to learn different things because women and men also move very differently in the world. They might be working the same exact skills, they might be holding the same exact position, they might be working in the same type of company, but their path there is different because there's certain obstacles that hinder both of them in different ways or that propel them in different ways. It could be that they grew up in the same circumstances that you did and they were able to overcome that. What did they do? Sometimes I feel like one of the things I used to really hate when I was in my twenties, when I would look at interviews or read magazines and they would talk about women who are like in the CEO position, the thing I used to hate was it was always about how they're still a mom. You know, when they get home, they're still a wife. When they get home, they're still a mom. Like, I know that. So that's how women make decisions. So what I wanted to know was how did they become a CEO, despite still having to be a mom and be a friend and be a sister and be a daughter and be all these things. Because with the men, they talk about how like, yeah, you know, me campus, I used to do this, and it was mostly about their journey. But when they talk to women, it was never about their journey. They would talk to women about like, how do you balance your
Hey,
career?
please
How
give
do you
this
still
video a thumbs up.
project in your field and still give commands in the office? How do you know that? Like, it was
I
so
want
very
to keep it
superficial. She
in
was
the
never
fridge
focusing on the journey. So if you
for
can
at
find the
least 20
stories of
hours.
the journeys now, listen to this podcast and watch this interview where women are talking about their journey. The last couple of things, this one's going to be a bit more self-explanatory, so I won't really go in depth in-depthly into them. One of them is trusting my gut. I wish I trusted my gut a lot more when I was in my 20s. You're the only person who knows that your gut is speaking to you. For me, I know how that presents in my body, where do I feel it, what are the emotions. And this time, I even said this, I think it was a friend last year. There's times where your gut will tell you it's still something I'm learning. Even now in my 30s, when listening to my gut, I should be listening to my gut a lot more. There's those moments where there's something, and when you look back at it, is when you realize, yeah, my gut communicated with me, and I did listen. So one, you have to actually cultivate your gut. You need to know how it speaks to you, what a yes sounds like, and what a no sounds like, and then you have to listen to it and trust it a lot more. That is going to be like a personal journey for every person, so it's different for everyone. The next thing is I wish I read more books and read on a regular basis too. I used to read a lot. I think I've become, at some point I fell off the wagon. I used to read. I was someone, everywhere I went, I had a book. And even now, it's something that I still do. I always make it about processing and I read. The advantage of reading is you get to see how other people think, the stories that other people tell. You get to live in someone else's world. And I think as a creative, reading is very important because there are people's voices and you see how they process things and you're like, wow. And you also learn a bit about yourself. And it's interesting, reading opens your world in ways, it helps you travel from the same spot that you're in, get to take areas. So in my senses, I wish I read lots more books, and even in terms of variety, I wish I read a wider variety of books. If you're in your senses, read as much as you can. Read so many different types of books. The final thing I wish I did a lot more in my senses was I wish I did more basic things and had more fun. I wish I did fun, basic things in my senses. This is thing we used to do together, used to go to church with. And as I was writing together, I was putting together this episode, I remembered this moment where we were somewhere, I don't even remember which county it was. We had gone, we shook at a couple, and I don't even know who we were visiting. I don't even remember why we were there. But we were there and we were spending money, and I was eating nyanya because I used to love eating raw tomatoes and raw carrots. That, like, for me, raw tomatoes are a snack. Just like, please don't argue with me, okay? For me, raw tomatoes are a snack, and I would buy like tomatoes all put together as you're walking and I was eating, and I was like, what happened to that girl? We used to wake up and go like, yeah, so we'll go here. We're gonna talk this now, and then it will find a way to spend the money. It's like, but speak, coverage by 100 to maybe, let's we go to like, oh, so all I need is like about 700 bucks. You go find the 700 bucks and then you go. We used to have this thing on a Sunday where after church, we go to someone's house, we pick a movie that we were going to watch, and then we cook. So sometimes the people that would cook for us, so we go, we buy all the ingredients, we come with them, we come to the house, we say, today we're going to the money's house. We also are here after church, people get into the kitchen, the people make cachemari, someone is cooking the rice, someone else is chopping the nyama, and we all cook together, and then after we're done, we eat, we clean the dishes, we watch a movie, and then at around 16 in the evening, then we go home. And that was like fun thing. We would go dancing randomly, like there's a lot of stuff that we used to do that I miss. But then at some point when I moved away from those friendships, I stopped doing these things. And again, from that, when I ended up in a relationship, there are things that I stopped doing that I used to consider fun and enjoyable because it was also dependent on the people I was around. So sometimes again, we have that thing we're saying that we're about learning more about relationships, like also learning how relationships change you is very important. Like, so you have to build a relationship with yourself as you're building relationships with other people to understand when you are getting away from yourself, hence the importance of dating yourself. So I wish I did more creative things. Because right now there's things that I think about it and I'm like, okay, we used to go for hikes, go here, we go, and we're not even like it's not crazy. Tunapanda matatu, tunaenda Gorgeous, tunafanya tunatembea, tunapika kwa juu, people who are drinking at the time will come and film the thing. And then we go, we get to a point, it's the same, we just come and we're like, hey, I don't see us finishing. Let's go back. And we went back, and for us, we used to have to go back. So we used to have two friends. Well, and we started with them. We bought the first one. We did them, and that's the first. And we put that with the deal. So it was like we never second guessed ourselves about fun stuff. So we're like, oh, we're gonna try that. Let's go try it. And I wish I did more of that because I think when I turned like about 20, 24, look at that dot. like the other 6 years of my 20s leading up to 30, I didn't do as much of that. I wasn't doing this, I wasn't doing fun stuff the same way. We went to Burudani a couple of months ago for mental wellness thing, and we had this huge swing, and I was like, we've got this, we did it, and I stopped and I was up there, and then the person next to me started freaking out, and then I was like, oh crap, and then I was like, dang, we're already here, we've got this. I started overthinking, and then the guy, but now I was popping her out of overthinking, and then I started overthinking, because like, maybe it's the reason to be overthinking, maybe there's something she knows that I don't know, is there something that I don't know? Then we were shocked. And that fast scream, I felt like my heart, like when you feel like your heart has left your body, I was like, oh, that's how that feels. And like, so then after I came back and then when I think the reason was in the third swing, we were like, whoa, we just started screaming and shouting, and I was like, we need to do more of this. I need to do more of this. So in my 30s, I intend to do a lot more fun, number time. I think about all the things that I wish. Ah, so much of more. So given that all the things we talked about today, we can not see you on Monday. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the episode of the podcast.
So that I don't like careful. You don't need to go to
Mungu alisema mtu akule jasho yake. Nikihubiri nani anatoa jasho?
So what about 10%?
10%.
Yeah. That's what?
10% I give it to people who help me spiritually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then ukasema kanisa lako kama una sadaka.
Tafadhali kwa sababu ni ya kukodesha. Sasa unaikuja huku kanisa zinatuzuia sana kuona watu wetu. Mambo hiyo hiyo. Nika hivi usiku nakwambia zimataa. Kwangu. Kwani mimi ni wazimu nitaka kusimama. Those people who are divorcing one another, kicking in and kicking out of women and one another, because we are not giving marriage as an institution value. When we give values, and you know a woman was a woman, mine as a woman, the fact a woman, better than a woman, worse than a woman, the answer is a woman. Which is not as a nyama. Ujinga ni vile unapika hapo.
What I'm trying to check today, mastermind German guys, we love back to the new eyes around the living muscles around the ball gang is around episode 210. We are
Sikiza. Hata introduction yenyewe hata sijasikia. Hapana, mimi nashika simu yangu. Na mbona tunashtukia na
kama ujuku mstaafu. Oh, okay. So, you do it.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. I'm already pushed out by the generation. So they need to go.
Yes.
Nice
Nice to meet you, man.
to meet you. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah,
We're good.
we are such fans of you.
Yeah.
And one of the thing is, I swear, you don't completely.
No, I'm just a team. Yeah. My firstborn is 43.
Hey! Kwani ulianza kupigana ukishanaje? Ndio maana tunakufikiria.
Tulikuwa tunauziwa peni 10 cents. Tukienda kuchota maji na kisichana kilikuwa kimekuwa chini. Sasa ukiiba sumuni, mayai ilikuwa inatoka sumuni. Ukiiba sumuni na kiita. Na inasema. Alafu kingine huko kwa majani. Anakushika tu hivi, hapo tunasema 10, 20, 30, 40. It was fashion of that time.
How do I open this?
I was 22.
So what address how old?
Was 22.
Yes.
Heading there. Yeah. Yeah.
And how old is that now?
He's married next.
So is your age? I think I'm another contact of that.
My last born, my last born son, 6 years. I'm a grandfather of 6.
So the last one is 6 years old.
Yeah.
Grandchild.
Yeah.
Okay, how many years?
We only 5.
Okay.
Yeah. The only mistake I did in the world, siku za sana.
Lakini si bado kuna.
Hata nikishikilia simu. Niangukie zote.
What's up?
Well, it depends. But kama mwanaume na loan. Uko na loan kwa bank, simu mswali uko na loan. Umebeba hii ya huyo mbui wetu. Hauna pesa. Haijamuka. Lakini wanasema mazuri kwa sababu inataka unapoenda hapo, sex is something ya kufurahia after achievement. Yeah. Sex is celebration after an achievement. Usidilie na kidole kama mtura ya. No, sio finger, sio. Ni kusukuma hiyo kitu, unaisukuma na kidole. Hawezi kusimama hivyo.
Unaweka ndani kwa
Na unamuuliza unasikia. Na hapo ndio anajua uko na kama You know you're a man. Tunadanganyana nao. Yeah? They are acting, especially in that sex time. They act. No? Unamuoa mahali kama panatokea kitu ya mtoto. Wanakijua kana kiliuwe. Bila kuiwa jua hiyo. Ala anachezea kando. Tukikabulu kama unataka kwenda kwa baba haraka. I never use those kind of things. No. And pills. And you know pills, these are blue pills. Sijui kama nitawaribikia soko. Kitu kuinuka ni side effects. Yeah. Ni side effect.
So then what is the main function of it?
The main function of main room ni wale watu wazee sasa 70s na above, roho yao inapampa polepole na kunywa pamoja, ndio now you think that sasa hiyo ni kitu poa. Si poa hata kidogo. It's not, please don't use it. Don't use it.
You need ice cream?
Sasa nataka nifanye nini? Nataka hii maji. Chukua hii maji, patiana pale ndio niweke ice cream. Tumia akili. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And especially nowadays, you young people, because you don't want effort. You want comfort. Here there is a mama, you have to find, you are unable, so you go for the group meals, only knowing that you are very damaging yourself. No, you only carry you are 60s, over 60. You know how to eat and how to. But then hii ni hekalo na Mungu. Huyo Mungu hawezi kaa mahali umejaa. As he is the owner of the universe. So what do I learn? Mtoto wa prezo anaweza sema ametoka. Yeah. Sasa we are children of the king. So you're supposed to, the Bible says he provides my needs according to his riches in glory through Christ Jesus.
Someone who's not familiar with mankush, how do you know what is it?
I'm mankush. I love mankush. I leave alone the titles of bishops, doctor. Forget about those. They help me with the teachers. Mankush ni nakura. Si umeniita hapa ukasema mankush kwa studio. Ona huko sema Bishop Dr. Paul Kuria. Basi wacha zilale. Zinaamkaka Sunday. Nikienda church. Yeah? I am.
What is that?
I broke everything. Everything. I can broke everything. Ameweka ice cream nyingi. Wewe unataka kujua na baridi. Hii baridi. Nataka kujua na baridi. Ndio kuona 18.
So give me just an example of like what is the last thing you do in this program that you remember?
Jana niliboroka shamba. Yes, it was going for 150 million. 15. Ateja ingia kwa kaunti. Ndio wanataka kuninyonga kwa sababu kubebagi pesa. Ni vizuri kujiongelea ndio mtu asiniwekee nini mchere kwa maji. We did the whole thing yesterday. The deal. That's what I'm planning by next week.
Is it complicated in a way to run a land just because of all the issues we see?
And it needs a lot of connections and a lot of searching. Usiuzie kitu about fake. Alafu destroy your reputation.
And also the campaign is like another process.
Kama kuna kitu sitaki kuojeka na sitaki kesi. Kuojeka na kesi sitaki. Yeah? I think violence. I'm a boxer. I've been boxing for 16 years.
When is the last time you did it?
Sasa simueleweka. Lakini si useme si unione hivi useme kudanganya. Yule alisema tukichapa kwa nini upeane hii? Alichapa kwa kakufa. Akuwa kidoriani. Alikuwa na dadadi. Kwanza alihubiri miaka 5 nimehubiri kwa matata hiyo. Kaniuliza vile tunakaa. Vile tunakaa.
But we just straight to it. Now that we like on that church. Because there's many things we like to talk about. Because there's church, just like skills. Just like in general, governance. There's many things that we like to talk about. I remember vividly, many years ago, we were the trend when life is on the front.
Yeah.
Some your church from this game to Chelsea, the basement, na juu kuna lodge. You talk about
Kwa sababu ni hoteli ya wenyewe. Si hapo. Lakini nimenunua sasa kiwanja Kasarani. So building a church without lodging on top.
si kiko karibu na lodge.
No.
So kuna kanisa sasa hivi kwa hapa lodging juu na
Yeah.
hapo kando.
Building yetu haina bar. Ni church chini. Kinyozi juu. Na gym. Na juu rooms.
Umeingiza huko.
Nikifanya nini niko na mkutano.
Uko ni matano na
Eh.
kuna hiyo.
Yani. Labda kulala tukiwa safarini na Nairobi.
Okay, how many members does the church have?
Well, I have 52 churches in Kenya, so I don't know which one you're asking me.
That is kuna lodge.
About 8. So kesho sadaka crazy.
How much next that come how much in a week? Generally.
A week, every church, it has its pastor. So I don't count that sadaka as it's mine. And my church, I have given them freedom. They give me what they want. I don't demand from them. Because also I'm having mine. So I'm getting over 200,000 every time. Yeah. But sometimes I give all. Because a lot of people who are they come. Why should I go when somebody is going to sleep without food there? Yeah.
How do you know about that?
It's a calling. Sio kusoma. Mapasta wengi kanisani ni kusoma. Nani watakosa?
How do you know that it's a problem?
Before I started church, I had gone around this country for hours, making biggest crusades. You see, I remember one time, the Kenya government said that whoever is having coins, the country is having shortage of coins. I had 12 bags of 90 kg in my house.
That's not from Canada.
Yes, kukota Kenya mzima.
Na kwa context, 90 kg ni ile ya waru.
Hii ya waru.
Imejaa kwa-
Imejaa coins. I had 12 of them. 12 of them. 4 of coins.
So you take the government coins.
So that's when I read the paper, I had not called the bank to come and count the coins so that it can go back to circulation. Well, there were about 13 or 14 million.
Coins.
I think we actually had a shortage for those meals.
Yeah,
Because you took all the coins in circulation, you kept in your house.
that's how we become a celebrity.
Yeah, someone push.
Yeah.
So back to this calling. How does the calling happen? Is it something you feel within yourself? Do you dream? Do you get vision?
No, you see, you can do something which you don't like, and it brings you stress. Like now, many heart attacks in the world happens on Monday. Because what people do is not what they like. But if you do something and you say in it, you know you have a calling on that. And the one who has called you is supporting you. If the one who has called you is not supporting you, you are looking for your own support, then vacate from that calling. Go to another. Like Jonah. When Jonah went to Tarishish, instead of Nineveh, he paid for his fare. He made those people lose a lot of products in the sea. Yeah? And then finally, he was thrown in the ocean. Yeah? Now, to go to meet the rent, he did not pay the fare. He went in his own Uber without anyone. Because the owner of Jonah had supported him at that time. But to go to Tarishish, he had to support himself. If a product does not meet the purpose of the manufacturer does not support the product. That's why we have a lot of products in Asia. Kama kina Vimto. Kamisi ziko wapi? Mpaka factory ilifungwa. Lakini Coke, every day, amka tu utaiona kwa TV, every day from when you are young. Why? It's meeting the purpose of the manufacturer. Listen. So, when a preacher does not meet the purpose of the manufacturer, lazima akome wapi.
Sasa, what is the line between calling the bee na doing it for God? Because wewe mwanzo ulisema sadaka yote ya kanisa yako ni Islam.
Yes.
You don't need to go for the
Na niye Mungu mtunzi alisema mtu akule jasho yake. Nikizidi nani natoa jasho. 10%. 10% I give it to people who help me to do it. Yeah. Tafadhali kwa sababu ndio kukodesha. Hata unaikuja kudandia upate nini ya bure au like survival. Sure, if you don't have offering, don't go to church. Yeah. No, hakuna minimum gift. Whatever comes from your heart. Lakini sasa ndio pastor akukoni, kidogo. Lazima aliye pale mbele nasema Mungu anaona hata yeye inabaki. Ni uongo.
But sasa venye sasa umenunua shamba. Sasa utakuwa na progression. Ukiama hapo jengi. So watu wanakuja kama wanasema. Sasa unipe hiyo.
Hapana, uje kana wale watu wa kufagia.